Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jess and the Guest. My guest today is the incredibly talented actor and the only Dallas Cowboys fan I like, Scott Michael Foster. You know him from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Greek that he started when he was 21 on ABC Family. From everything, he's on You Season 3, upcoming to Netflix, which I'm very excited. He's going to play killer. I don't know. Who knows? He's very talented. I mean, Once Upon a Time, too. It can go on and on. But we talk about everything from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend to Greek to being famous at 21 to horrible audition stories to being, I think he played Radio City Music Hall. No big deal. Yeah, he is the best, and I hope you like this episode. Hi, Scott. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, no problem.
All right, Scott. Now, there is a wrong answer to this, and because I'm from Philly, I will judge you. Please tell me, dear God, you are not a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah, sorry. Philly, huh?
I know. We've had it's hard to be a fan right now, but
I will. Same for us. I mean, what a dumpster fire of a division we're a part of, huh?
Yeah. But maybe
next year. There's always next year.
Yeah. Now, Scott, as you know, I only ask very serious questions on here. So we're going to start it out with the most serious one. Did you start the Justin Bieber hairstyle?
You know, that's a good question. I thought I did because, I won't say by how much, but I'm definitely older than Justin Bieber. But I thought I started that hair before he did. I feel like I had that haircut and then he'd had it and it was everywhere, and I didn't get the respect that I was.
I know you acted a lot before Greek, but what was the most surprising thing about being on Greek?
I don't know. I mean, for me, it was, I didn't go to college. I moved out to LA when I was like 18. So my college experience was Greek, and that was about college and fraternities and sororities, and so I felt like the most surprising thing for me was, I got to have a college experience sort of through the show. And instead of having to pay tuition, I got paid, which was really great. But no, it was just nice to have sort of that sort of experience, that relationship with peers. We were all the same age roughly, so it felt like I went through a college type experience, even though I didn't go to college.
Yeah. Most importantly, can you still play beer pong just as well as you did on the show?
No, I've lost that touch for sure. In fact, I think I played recently and I was like, how did I ever do this? I'm good at this game.
Yep. No. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend had such a fast pace of the show. You're doing choreography, you're singing, you're recording, acting. How did you handle such a fast-paced show?
You mean as far as production and making the show and everything? Yeah, it was. We had I think 7-day episodes, which traditionally for an hour long you get 8 at least, and some you get more, 10 or 12. And this was 7-day episodes, and we not only had to pre-record our music, but we had to learn the choreography, and then on top of that also act the scenes, so it was a lot of work. And I when I came on, I was surprised at how they were able to pull off such detail and work in 7 days. So it was a challenge, but we had a really great crew and a great team, and we got it done.
Yeah. Wait, was performing Let's Have Intercourse really your first week on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend?
That was my first week on the show. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think my first week was actually learning the dance with Kat.
Oh my gosh.
And one of her dancer helpers, and then I met everybody and recorded the song. I mean, I'd met Rachel and Aline before, but I wasn't really a part of the show. The first week was just like learning that dance and recording the song before I even made it to set. Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you have a favorite song that you've done? Because you sang some pretty iconic ones.
Gosh, I mean, feels like a fan favorite is I Go to the Zoo. I feel like a lot of people like that one. That was definitely fun to shoot because it was like, it was just me and the crew for, a couple days, which was really fun. Yeah, that one was great because it felt like I felt like I was a pop star, and the closest I'll be to actually making like a pop song. So that was fun. But I mean, they're all are special and unique in their own way.
Yeah. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend didn't just do the TV show. They also toured, did the live show, I think Radio City Music Hall. How different was it doing the live shows?
Yeah, I mean, when you're on TV, you can get it perfect in the studio before you go out, and lip sync to yourself on set. When you're on stage, like at Radio City in front of 6,000 people, when you do it there, that's the performance. You have to get it right. And I mean, I remember when I was in New York for the Radio City show, for the second night, my voice was just like gone. And we were walking through the city. My dad was there, and I was with David Hull, and we were walking through the city. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to sing tonight. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this because, I can barely speak.
Yeah.
And I remember going to this doctor, and I got a steroid injection to try and get my voice to work.
Yeah.
And like right as we were getting ready to do warm-ups for the show, my voice was starting to come back. And I was so nervous all up until, I think it was Let's Have Intercourse. It was at the song, I don't remember the note, but it was the high note in that song. I was just so worried that I wasn't going to hit it. And I think I did okay. And my dad was in the audience. He watched, and afterwards he was like, I can't believe you did it. You were a mess today. I can't believe you made it happen. So yeah, it's definitely an entirely different experience doing it live than doing it, on camera.
Yeah. All right. Now I am trying to start a fight with this question, but did you have a favorite person to do scenes with on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend?
Well, listen, Pete's great. Everyone's great. I mean, I don't know if I could pick favorites, but everyone has their own unique, style of energy when you're on set with them. You know what I mean? So each time it's different and unique in its own way. So I couldn't pick a favorite, but everyone's great in their own right.
Yeah. What was the audition process like for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend?
I mean, I remember I got the audition. So I first auditioned for Greg back when it was at Showtime in 2015 or whatever.
Yeah.
And, obviously I didn't get that. And then they called me back the year later, or I guess it was almost 2 years later at that point, to do, to read for Nathaniel. And I was like, I didn't get anywhere in the first round. I didn't think but I had worked with the casting director before, so she brought me in, and I could hear through the wall the people singing their auditions for Daniel, and there was just like these amazing Broadway guys singing, sounding amazing, and I was just like, wow, I'm about to go in and sing "Fly Me to the Moon" as best as I can.
Great.
Yes, I went in, I did it, and I got a call back to meet with Aline and Rachel, and that all went well. And so I was as shocked as anybody else. I didn't think I was going to make any progress, but it all worked out for the best.
Yeah. You've sang a lot on TV and film, and I think I heard you were in a band, right?
Yeah, I had a band for a while. I did musical theater all throughout high school. So I've been singing to a degree, my whole life, but I wouldn't consider myself a singer. You know what I mean? Like I think I do it to, like when I was in Texas in high school, we didn't have really like a film and TV program. It was,
I know.
It was musical theater and drama. That's what you could do.
Yeah.
And so I did that because I wanted to be an actor, and so a lot of it required singing. So I did sing. I wouldn't consider myself like, like I'm not a trained singer, I didn't, that wasn't my drive. My drive was to be an actor.
Yeah. A lot of your roles are really comedic. Do you have a secret improv or comedy background?
Oh, no, that terrifies me.
You're so good though.
Well, thank you. But I think it's a different thing to be sort of doing comedy on TV and film when you're, so it'll be a long-winded answer, but when you book a role, there's a level of confidence you have because you earned the part, right? So you get on and you I think you can feel free to joke around, mess around, be funny, because you've earned through the audition process you've earned the right to play. Doing stand-up, you're in front of a crowd who doesn't know you, right? So you have to earn their laughs, which is way harder and more terrifying. Improv terrifies me, stand-up terrifies me, and maybe that's why I should do it. I just have not done it yet.
I can't wait to watch you season 3, but auditioning during COVID is such a different animal too than just auditioning. How was the audition process for you during COVID? And no big deal, during a global pandemic.
this whole last year, auditions have been
Yeah.
all over tape or Zoom, like we're doing.
Yeah.
And I was in Utah shooting a feature, and I had brought my little ring light,
Yeah.
and I set up, and I over Zoom read with somebody to do the tape,
Oh my
and
god.
like a friend of mine,
Yeah.
and then I sent that in, and I got a call back to do a Zoom callback with producers, and that's how I got it. So it is different, before quarantine. I didn't really book anything off tape. I just wasn't.
Yeah.
Feel like I'm much better in the room, but
Yeah.
obviously, with the way it is right now, everyone's having to force themselves to get better at this.
Yeah. 'Cause I feel like so much of acting is also reacting and interacting with people. Has it changed a lot filming you during COVID and with all the masks and all the COVID precautions?
Well, for actually filming the work, yeah. I mean, on set was, I've only worked a couple days on it, but it's definitely different. You don't really get, if ever, people are like, how was it?
Yeah.
How is everybody? And you're like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Everyone's behind their mask, and we're all separated in our pods, and we can't intermingle really. And
Yeah.
so, it's kind of difficult to feel like you have a rapport, with the
Yeah.
crew. And then also, as far as with the cast, it's hard to feel like you're getting to know. The good thing about this movie I did in Utah was we were all living in the same house and filming in the same house.
Oh, awesome.
It was a really big place. It sounds like could be horrible, but it was a very nice big place. We all had space,
Yeah.
but the seven of us in the cast, we all got to know each other really well because we're in our own bubble.
Yeah.
On you, it's like, we're people are going back home to their homes and their lives, so that
Yeah.
everyone has to stay separated. So it's kind of hard to tell how how everyone is, and get to know each other.
Yeah. Do you ever have to like tell your friends and family like after you book like a role like this where you're like, all right, guys, this isn't me. I'm not a killer or like a
Yeah,
possible killer. Like
no,
I'm acting.
I've played the killer, or the sleazeball,
Yeah.
or the bad guy a few times now. So I think everyone in my life is, people who aren't in the industry, like, family back home,
Yeah.
they're used to it now.
Yeah. I loved your short film, Wake the Riderless Horse. I felt like it was one of the first indie or short films that I saw that had so much of feature film properties to it. How did that come about?
My buddy, Mike Langman, we've been friends for years, over a decade. And I remember we were playing poker at his house one night, and there was a script on his floor.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just 15 pages or something.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and I just flipped through it, and I was like, who wrote this? And he was like, I did. I was like, no, you didn't. Where'd you get
Yeah.
this? He's like, no, I wrote this. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's really good. And then we agreed to throw some money, a little bit of money we had at it, with the, intent that he would direct and I would star in it. We both
Yeah.
produced it, and we got friends that we had worked with before together, and
Yeah.
we did it over 3 days here in LA. And yeah, this was a few years ago now. And we got Pete, obviously,
Yeah.
from
Great.
Crazy X to be on it.
Yeah.
It was just a fun time that we wanted to just start taking control a little bit
Yeah.
instead of waiting for things to happen. We wanted to,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was good. And when that was done, we had a little bit of recognition from the festivals, and that felt really good to know that it wasn't just, we weren't just going around and, ended up with a crap product.
Yeah.
People liked it. So that was really good to feel. And it felt like, maybe we were doing something right. So we both started writing more. We've written a few other things that we haven't produced. Obviously, the last couple of years have been,
Yeah.
especially the last year has been tough to get anything made. But yeah, so we sort of write together now.
Yeah. How are you staying sane during the pandemic? Because you're doing so much right now, and I need all of the motivation and help I can get. So help me, Scott.
It I don't know. It's this business, as you know, I'm sure, is really tough. It's you have to hear no a lot before you hear yes. And coming off the year before the quarantine, after Crazy X, not a lot happened for me, and I was just trying to just stay. I was writing and just trying to stay active as best I could.
Yeah.
And then quarantine hit, and it just slowed down even more. And it felt really, it was trying. But now things are starting to swing back up again, and I guess I guess they're just trying to stay positive. I mean, I've built sort of a my house now is just like it's my gym.
Yeah.
I do a lot of cooking. We do a lot of creative stuff here just to sort of keep sane. And instead of before where you could go out and do anything you want to go anywhere, we can't really do that anymore. So I don't know, just trying to keep your home pod as entertaining as possible.
Yeah, and you have dogs too, right? Or two?
And now 2 cats, dogs and cats.
Oh my god!
We have 4 pets here now. So.
Oh my god! And you're staying sane. They're all getting along.
Yeah, I was worried because I've had the dogs for 15 years.
Oh my god!
They're old boys, and I was worried when we got the cats that they weren't going to get along.
Yeah.
And we kept the cats separate for a week, and we slowly introduced them to each other, like feeding them, on each side of a door so they could smell each other. Put the dogs in a kennel, bring them out to the living room so the cats could smell them. We did all that for like a week, and then, I think I probably had too much to drink one night, and I was just like, "Let's put them together," and we did, and they were totally fine, and they're completely fine now. So there'll be times where we look over and, Oliver and Jack, one of the dogs, one of the cats, will be sleeping in the bed, and then Charlie and Maisie will be sleeping on the couch. Just totally fine. So yeah, they've completely integrated, and we're very happy for that.
Do you have any bad audition stories at all, or horror auditions? Because I'm terrible at auditions. So but you're so good. I'm like, how do you do it?
I probably had a ton, but I blocked them out. This is my own, I haven't done this. This was a friend of mine, but I think it's hilarious. Friend of mine, I won't mention who it is. Went to a commercial audition.
Yeah.
And he was like wildly sick. I don't know if he was hungover or he had the stomach bug or something, but he just wasn't feeling well. He went in, and it was, going into this commercial audition where you had to, those Bosu balls?
Oh yeah.
Medicine balls, the big round medicine balls that you can bounce. They were like, "Okay, so here's the deal. We want you to come in, and we want you to jump on your stomach on the medicine ball and pretend like you're flying, but we want you to land on it." And he was like, "Oh God." And he was nervous about it. And he went in, and he's just like, "I'll do it, whatever." And he jumped and immediately threw up everywhere in front of all 3 of the people that were sitting behind the table, doing his audition. And he was just like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And they were like, "That's all we need to see. Thank you so much for coming in."
Oh my God.
Just walked away. I mean, there's no reason to try and stay and clean it up. Just get out of there. So that didn't happen to me, but that was a friend of mine. That's my funny bad audition.
Oh my God. Okay, that beats me by far. Oh my God.
Yeah. What happened to you?
When Hamilton first came out, I thought, you know what I should do? I should wrap my audition. That'll go over well. People will really like that it's different. They did not. Everyone, if you're like me, you have no time for breakfast. Trust me, I get it. And finding something healthy can sometimes be really difficult. So use Magic Spoon. It's this great cereal. It is low carb, high protein, and Jess and the Guest listeners get 10% off. Again, that's 10% off. Use code Jess and the Guest at www.magicspoon.com. I came to LA at 28, and I was struggling to survive. How did you do it at 18? I feel like I would have been so overwhelmed. And
I was definitely overwhelmed, but I had a bit of help. My uncle, my mom's brother, he had lived here since the 80s. He had built a really, good life in the fashion industry and was very successful.
Oh, awesome.
I got to stay with him for a year before I moved out on my own, which would really help. I got a job working at Starbucks, and I lived with him, and I just sort of saved up some money while I was going on auditions and trying to get representation. So I think without that, it would have been supremely difficult.
Yeah.
But shortly after that, I got my own apartment, and I struggled for a year or so, and then luckily I got Greek when I was 21. So
That's crazy.
Yeah, it happened fairly quick for me, even though at the time it felt like forever. But when you're looking back, it's like, oh, that happened fairly fast.
Yeah. What was it like being famous at 21 too? Because that's such a tough. You're so young still at that age.
Famous. I mean, I feel like Greek was a really big show for ABC Family at the time, even though, at that point they were like, no one really watches the show. We get like, 1.5 million viewers a week or whatever. I don't know the actual numbers, but they thought it was low at the time. Looking now, it's like, those are great numbers.
Yeah.
But, I didn't feel like we were like, oh my God, we're famous. It just never felt like that.
Yeah.
I was just happy to be working on a show where I got to drive into a studio every day and feel like I was actually living my dream, so that it didn't feel like I was like, oh wow, famous, I was just happy to be working.
Do you ever look back on any of the episodes or any like interviews you did then and be like, what was I, why? I saw a 17 interview that you did. That was great. It was really fun.
I was young. I was a kid, and I think there are people who, especially now, you see people who are like, 17 years old and they're like making millions of dollars on TikTok and they're moguls. I had no idea. I was just wanted to be acting, and I didn't know. It was like, oh, well, when you get interviewed, I didn't know. I didn't have any sort of like game plan. I just wanted to continually work. And so I look back at interviews now and I was like, oh my God, I was such a young kid who's just, didn't know what he was doing really in that side of it. I didn't like doing press or anything like that. That wasn't my thing. My thing was I just wanted to have fun on set.
Yeah. I don't know how people like it. Like even doing this stuff, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, is there ever a question you like, I guess this is a bad question, but anything you're sick of answering, like any question you're like, please don't, like I always get like, are women funny, or like questions like that, and I'm like, why are you asking?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, there was always inevitably some question that I just didn't know how to answer. It was just like, I felt like I was making something up.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to sound
I've done
like I was knowledgeable or had a good answer, or they'd be like, what inspired you, or like what piece of art, whatever. I'm like, I don't know, I like doing this. This is what I like. This is all I've ever wanted to do. It's all I've ever wanted to be. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to be press. I'm here to be an actor.
That's amazing. That's so cool. You've like known that for so long too, that what you wanted to do. I feel like a lot of people struggle with that, including me.
I was pretty lucky in that regard, because I've known some people who didn't know what they wanted to do until they were older, and I've known since I was like 12. It's just like, this is what I'm gonna do,
crazy. Well, thank you so much for doing. I really appreciate this.
Well, thank you for having me. This has been great. One of the easiest interviews I've ever done.
Oh, really? Oh, yes. Okay, good. I'm trying to still figure it all out. I'm like, I don't know.
You're doing great.
Thank you so much for doing this. I hope you have a great rest of the day and can like relax, do something fun with the dogs and cats. And
I will, for sure. I'm gonna go cuddle with them right now.
Oh yeah, I'm so jealous. Thank you so much again.
Thanks, meeting you, Jess.
Bye. Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening to Jess and the Guest. Please like, subscribe, you know the drill.